Hey there! Welcome to the Distracted Librarians podcast. We're your friendly neighborhood bookworms with a penchant for all things pop culture.
Picture this as our digital campfire, where we dive into our latest obsessions, analyze our favorite distractions, and rediscover the joy of reading.
Whether you're a media enthusiast, a book lover, or just need a break from the daily grind, you've come to the right spot.
So kick back, relax, and get delightfully distracted with us.
Hey everybody! Today we are going to be talking about digital and downloadable tools at the library. My name is Nicole.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Killian.
I'm Drew.
All right, so we have a lot of really wonderful resources at the library.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about some of those today. So let's break this down a little bit. Digital collections and platforms. What are some of the things that we have available for patrons?
I use Libby constantly.
I use Libby constantly. I also buy all of the youth collection for Libby, both for ebooks and audiobooks. So it is easily the one that I am most familiar with.
Okay.
Just because I work with it so much.
Yeah.
Both personally and professionally.
And so, like, Libby is run by Overdrive.
Yep.
And it has a couple different types of resources.
Yeah, we have ebooks, we have audiobooks. It used to have some video stuff on there, but when it's Overdrive that merged with Canopy, correct?
Right, yeah, Overdrive bought Canopy.
So Overdrive bought Canopy, and there's not as much video on there now, but all of our magazines are on Overdrive. Our digital magazines
Oh, okay.
are on Overdrive now. So,
Gotcha.
And therefore on Libby.
Okay. And then we have Hoopla is available to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Hoopla is also ebooks and audiobooks that are available.
Yeah,
And movies.
Oh, and movies.
And
And
TV
music.
shows.
Oh,
and
okay.
music.
Oh,
And
so it's got
comics.
like a whole bunch of
Oh,
stuff.
and comics. I forgot about that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
easily our broadest database.
Okay. Now, the difference between the two is that one is similar to, like, the library. I like to look at it as, like, if the book is on the library shelf, therefore it's available. So there's one copy available that is checked out, and then you can be put on hold for that item. And that's Libby.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Originally, yes, that was very much. There's different circulation models for each. And as Hoopla has become a competitor for Overdrive, Overdrive has started being able to offer some of its items as a similar model to Hoopla.
Okay.
So they have some ways where there's unlimited copies and it tracks the number of copies that
Okay.
check out.
Okay.
But you're not going to see holds on Hoopla the way you do with most things on Libby.
Okay. Right.
The other big difference is that we do the purchasing for Libby, either us or the cooperative that we're part of.
Okay.
Whereas Hoopla, we buy into the platform, but we don't really have influence on what's in it.
Okay.
We can choose to remove things from the collection. I don't think we ever did, but the option is there.
Yeah.
To take things off the batch list, but we can't add things on there.
Yeah, there's no collection development and selection put into the Hoopla collection. It's whatever the company that owns it
Decides to purchase.
has made deals for.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, I do the youth collection for Overdrive. I go in and I select every item that is in that collection for our library's collection.
Okay.
We do have access to other libraries' collections through the cooperative, and then our cooperative has a
Reciprocity.
lending agreement with other cooperatives around the state of Michigan as well. So you can actually log into those with your card from us and
Oh,
check
cool.
out from there as well.
Very nice. I really like Hoopla because it has weird stuff on it.
Hoopla does have some
It's
out
very
there
weird.
things.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in supernatural and magic stuff. So there is like a huge resource of those type of books on Hoopla, which I feel like it would be very difficult to get somewhere else without having to pay for it. So I use Hoopla pretty regularly for those items. Yeah.
Hoopla's also made a lot of infrastructure changes recently that I love. Like their audio player is so much better than it used to be.
Their graphic novel or their comic reader is so nice.
Yeah.
I love it because you can click on like a box that's available on the page and it makes it super big, and then it just lets you kind of scroll through each box individually instead of trying to like squint at each little word on the page.
That's so good to know because I don't do digital comics often because they can be so difficult.
It's hard to read. Yeah, no, but Hoopla, if you click on the box, it'll blow it up for you, and then you're just like flipping through the little
panels,
boxes
yeah.
one by one. Yeah, it's really
Well,
nice.
I've learned something today.
I think Comics Plus does that too.
Okay, that's cool.
In Comics Plus, we literally just got 3-4 months ago.
Oh, and I don't know very much about that either.
It'll be 6 months by the time this comes out, but it's brand new access point. Seems really cool so far.
Now, we've had a discussion about graphic novels versus comics. Is it true to comics, or do you think that there's graphic novels thrown in there as well?
No, there are graphic novels in there.
Oh, there
too,
are.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
There's graphic novels. It's got a decent manga collection.
Oh,
It
nice.
was one of the reasons we wanted to go for it in the first place.
Okay.
That's good to know because I get so many kids in our department coming in looking for manga, and we don't have a ton in the youth graphic novel collection. I know there's more over in teen that you buy for,
We're working on it.
but so a lot of times we'll be like, we have some, it's mixed in over here, but most of what you're looking for is going to be in teen. But being able to know that there's a good collection there, I can send people there now.
Yeah, very nice.
All the things.
I
Yes.
love learning new things about
Yes.
our library.
Okay, well, let's talk about Canopy a little bit.
So, Canopy is a streaming service.
Okay.
So, you can think of it like a smaller version of Netflix. You can download it as an app or you can view it in a web browser. And it sort of specializes in movies that might be lesser known. So, they might be your art house films, your Criterion Collection, your foreign films, lots of documentaries.
I was going to say, when I looked, I was like, oh, there's a lot of documentaries on
Yeah.
here.
It started life as a service for academic libraries that only had databases or documentaries on it.
Oh, okay.
And then only in recent years, they've started making partnership deals with film production companies. So they get like the newer A24 film releases, the like classic Paramount Pictures.
Oh, okay.
So it's only in the last 5 years or so that they've expanded into more of what the public would be looking for.
Cool. All right. And what is Freegal?
We don't have Freegal anymore.
Oh, we don't have Freegal anymore.
It was a music-based one. It was not getting used, so that got cut a while
Well,
back.
just kidding. Then we're not going to talk about Freegal at all.
We did very recently add My Film Friend.
Okay.
When we signed up for it, we were one of like 7 or 8 libraries in the country to have it. And it is all foreign films.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really, really fun deal.
Yeah. Nice.
It's not a strong collection yet, but they're literally just starting. It's cool to be on the ground floor of it.
Yeah.
And it's something that our patrons from purchasing the DVDs really go for, is our foreign film collection.
Okay.
So we were excited to offer that as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know in youth services, we also have some really great offerings that are available to patrons. We have ABC Mouse, which is an educational tool that is kind of a fun learning app that some of the schools also recommend for kids. And there's games and there's like a point system, and you can use your points to like buy hamsters and hamster wheels. And so at least that's what my kids were doing with it.
Absolutely.
So
Sign me up.
there's, it's like educational, but then there's also kind of like this very fun game element to it. So ABC Mouse is available. That's the only one I believe that you can only use inside of the library, though.
I think so, yeah.
ABC Mouse. So if that's something that you're interested in using, just come on into the library and check it out on one of our computers. Okay, and then we also have Bookflix. Killian, do you want to talk about Bookflix?
Bookflix kind of pairs ebooks and video. So a lot of it is very educational content where you're getting ebooks about a topic and then video kind of showing things and using, video of, if it's the topic is butterflies, you're getting video of butterflies. You might get like a graphic showing the parts of a butterfly, things like that. Just different ways to expand learning from just that reading-based literacy to also media-based literacy.
And if I recall correctly, that was something that I was using during lockdown, during COVID, just for homeschooling my kids. And it was a great resource,
Nice.
just because, oh my gosh, today we're talking about space. How am I going to do that? I could go on Bookflix, and it would give me kind of like a canned curriculum for littler kids.
Yeah.
Okay. We also have some foreign language study programs that are available, like Little Pim and Mango Languages. That's available on our website.
Yeah,
All of these things are available on our website.
Yeah, Little Pim is the children's version, and then Mango Languages is kind of adult, and I mean, teen probably would make more sense for Mango Languages too.
Okay.
But there's a lot of really great stuff on there, and I know like a lot of people use other language learning apps and everything, but this is one that you have free access to through the library, so you can
Totally.
double up.
I love Mango. It has like 70 languages on it. I like promoting it every September because it also has Pirate Speak on there.
That's fantastic.
And one of the days in September is International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
So you just have to have it.
Exactly. It's a fun thing to promote there. But it's a really, really good integration service where it does video and audio and records you speaking back to it to really try and get you the classroom experience insofar as it can.
Nice.
It's a good service, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Scholastic Teachables is new to us at the library. This is great for people that are educators. So we've been talking to the local school district about Scholastic Teachables because there are worksheets that are available. There's tons of resources that are there for teachers. And this is also another good one for homeschooling families. It just makes it easier because you don't have to make everything up from scratch. And they're all age appropriate for the grade and all of that too. And then we also have Tumble Books and Tumble Math. Tumble Books, I believe, isn't it it reads the books to you?
It's an ebook platform.
Okay.
Some of them have read along. That read along format is kind of just a format that different things have. You can find read along books on Libby as well.
Okay.
But Tumble Books has a lot of ebooks, but it also has some games that are on that site as well. There's a bunch of educational content really
Okay.
for kids on there.
So for reading
in
and math.
a bunch of different formats. And we have Tumble Math as well, which goes into a lot of math concepts.
Okay, cool. All right, what's going on in adult services
Yeah.
and teen?
We've got a lot of fun ones. One of my personal favorites is Creative Bug.
I love Creative Bug.
It's a
Me too.
really, really cool service. We use it for a lot of our take and make craft kits to get ideas. But it's really just this massive crafting site where you can put in the type of crafting that you want to do or the outcome of whatever you want to have created, and it will give you, step-by-step guides to what tools and materials you need.
The videos are great.
the videos are great,
teachers
yeah.
are really good. It's super fun, and it's a subscription-based service. So if you were trying to access this from home, not through the library, it would cost money. I believe it's either monthly or yearly. And it's just a nice thing that we offer.
Yeah, a fair few of our databases are ones that would be subscription services if you wanted to
Okay.
go at it from an individual angle. But the library has institutional access for everyone who is a card holder or who are in the building when they're accessing it. So that applies to a lot of our newspapers. It applies to consumer reports, where it's really just like an access point.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. One of the most annoying things to me is being on like Facebook or whatever, scrolling through someone's posted a newspaper article, you click it and it's like, this is behind a paywall. But now like some of those I can get through the library, which is great.
Yeah.
One of the ones that we offer is also LinkedIn Learning. So as you'd imagine with LinkedIn, it is more about career readiness or career development. So that would be a great one if you want to learn how to use Excel or if you want to learn how to use Word. So that's a really nice one. And there are also video tutorials. So you're going to be getting video tutorials with like sort of nice little modules to walk the learner through what they're interested in.
Yeah, they break them into like 2 to 5 minute modules, so you can go through and pick out exactly what you want. Because a lot of those videos end up like 4 hours long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To give you like the broad overview, but they also break it down really, really smoothly. They have transcripts, they have exercise handouts. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
One that I really like using is Novelist. It's the one I use the most, like, to work as a reader's advisory type deal.
Okay.
So it is sort of a Goodreads type deal, not in the logging books, but in book information.
Okay.
So you can look up any title. It has a really, really broad database of them. And it will give you, recommended reader age ranges, descriptions of the book, a breakdown of categories. And it'll also give title, author, and series read-alikes.
And so if you've ever been in our catalog and looked something up, and you will see suggestions for other things you might like at the bottom of that page, that's where that comes from. It's integrated into our catalog so that you can find those read-alikes.
Cool.
Another one we have is Consumer Reports. So most people know Consumer Reports from the magazine. It tells you what is a good product, what is a good brand. They have ratings on them, pros and cons, comparison sheets of, say, like a vacuum or a dehumidifier, which is super useful.
It's super useful. I use
Absolutely.
it quite a bit.
Yeah. So this is your online version. You can access it from home. It's just really helpful because I think if you were to buy every edition, it gets quite pricey, but in this case, the library is paying for it for you.
Yay.
And that pairs super well with the library having the Consumer Reports magazines in-house.
Totally, yeah. So you can look it up online, or you can come in and view it in person, maybe make a photocopy of that one, vacuum article as you're trying to find the perfect vacuum. So,
Oh my goodness.
I think our one database that you have to be in the library to use is Ancestry.
correct, yeah.
Yeah. So Ancestry, we have in-library access, and it's, again, to the full service. So there's nothing special about the library access point except that it's free for library patrons. So you would have to come into the library and either be on our Wi-Fi or be on one of our computers, but then you get full access to all of the genealogical things that Ancestry has to offer. Genealogy is this huge deal right now. We're doing programs for it every other month with the Historical Society.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's cool.
yeah.
I found some good stuff on there, so
Oh, yeah?
I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I've messed around on there before, and it's a lot of fun. So it's nice to have that
definitely.
access without having to pay for it.
I found out my grandpa was married an additional time. So that was sort of fun. I don't know if my mom knew or not. But you'll never know what you find out. So
Yes.
Ancestry is worth.
Things to bring up at the Thanksgiving table.
All right. Do we have anything else for adult and teen services, or is that all good?
And we have tons of databases between the ones that we purchase into and the ones that we get from being associated with the Library of Michigan.
Okay.
That databases page scrolls and scrolls and scrolls.
Yeah, and so that goes for both adult and teen and youth services. Like, these are just a couple of our favorites, but there's a big long list of things that are available to patrons.
Yeah, a lot of great resources for kids writing papers for school,
Yes.
things like that are solid sources for those papers as well. So
Yeah, we have access to the full Gale and EBSCO
yeah.
databases for general research. as well. We're talking about the fun ones, but
Yes.
but we do have the more academically minded databases as well.
Definitely. There is also a tutoring app called Help Now by BrainFuse, and I believe that is you have access to a one-on-one tutor situation with that, which is kind of great we have families that come in pretty regularly saying, hey, we need a tutor, can you help us? And unfortunately, the library is not affiliated with the tutors that come into the library. Those tutors, which we do have a plethora of them around, typically they're kind of doing it on their own, and so we always recommend that families reach out to their teachers or speak to other families and see what tutors are in the area. In this case, you could access a tutor through the library.
Yep.
It also has flashcards and other study aids on there.
Oh, cool.
For testing from first grade through SATs.
Nice.
It covers, or tries to cover the whole spread.
Awesome. We also have a library app,
Which is so cool.
which is so cool. We all had access to like the early version of the library app, which I failed to test in any capacity, but then later realized that there are so many cool things on there. Like you can actually check out books from your phone.
Yep, don't even have to go to the checkout desk. Just do it yourself and then walk out of the library with the book.
So we've had situations where we have after hours programming, and our librarians were at a loss when families would want to actually check out books, but none of our computers were up and available so that they could check things out. But now they could actually check out those items on their phone and walk out the door with them,
Very
which was
cool.
great. Yeah.
One of my previous libraries had an app that pre-COVID, and it did not have bells or whistles. It was very good at what it was designed to do in the year 2017 or whenever it was. But just seeing the gap in the ability of the app from that one to ours, and the way it allows you to check out, it allows you full catalog access, full
You place
website
holds,
access.
all of the things very easily.
You can reserve study rooms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we recommend that you check that out if you haven't already, because it's definitely valuable to have. And do we have anything else? There's a lot of stuff.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
We
things.
have a lot of things.
There's a lot, and it's honestly hard to keep track of.
I
So
know.
I think that the best thing is if you are interested in a certain item, or if you just have a certain need, like let's say I'm interested in checking out books while I'm on vacation, right? We can tell you how to do that. Libby would be a good option. Hoopla would be a good option. So if there's a certain need, chances are a librarian could connect you with what of our platforms can help you out.
Yeah, we get questions all the time that's like, I would like to do this thing. How do I do this thing? And our response is, well, we have databases. Let's go poking around.
Definitely. All right. So thank you for listening to today's episode, and we will see you next time. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Distracted Librarians.
Many thanks to BCTV for their support in recording, editing, and releasing this podcast, and to the Friends of the Library for sponsoring closed captioning on every episode.
If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us at distracted@btpl.org.
Until then, keep those pages turning and those screens lighting up. We'll catch you in the next episode.
The views and opinions expressed in the Distracted Librarians podcast do not necessarily reflect those of Bloomfield Township Public Library, Bloomfield Community Television, the Birmingham Area Cable Board, or its producers or production staff.